What's up, guys? This is Ray. Welcome to Age of Films, and we're here with this month's Patreon-sponsored movie review, and that's the 2019 Japanese film Fortuna's Eye, directed by Miki Takahiro and starring Kamiki Ryunosuke and Arimura Kasumi. And this was one of the films I mentioned that I was looking forward to in my top 10 2019 Japanese films I'm looking forward to watching video, which I uploaded earlier last month. And, I was excited because I like Miki Takahiro movies. I know exactly what to expect before watching his movies, and that is to experience a better than average romantic movie. I say better than average. His movies are genuinely entertaining to me. I tell you, I know what to expect, and I enjoy every moment of him. The story of Fortuna's Eye, it's about this youth by the name of Shinshiro, who's played by Kamiki Ryunosuke. And when he was a young boy, he survives a near fatal plane crash. Pretty much just about all the people who were riding on the plane died, except for Shinshiro and maybe a couple other folks. But ever since this accident, ever since he walked away from this accident, he's developed this ability which he can read the fate of anybody if they're about to die in the near future. And the way it happens is that parts of their body become kind of translucent, and he can see right there. They start to become very ghost-like in appearance. And I guess the closer and closer they are to their impending death, the more and more parts of the body become translucent. So he sees this develop when he's a kid, and doesn't really see much of it until we're in the present time when he's a young man. And it resurfaces. He starts seeing people show their translucency. I hope that's a word. But he discovers that he's able to change people's fates and step in. He spots someone who sees that is about to die soon, but then he saves them. But he discovers he can change fate. But what happens is that this takes an effect on Shinshiro's body, and you can see the damage in his heart. So one day he goes into a mobile phone shop, and because his phone's broken, he needs to get repairs, and there he meets Aoi, who's played by Arimura Kasumi, and he sees that she is kind of translucent, that she is about to die in the near future. So what he does, he steps in, he takes some time out of her evening just to chat with her, to kill some time, and what that does in effect is saves her from dying. And what happens from that point? They start a relationship, they start a romantic relationship, but it's also from that point on that more and more instances happen where Shinshiro sees that someone is about to die, and then he's tasked to answer the question that if it's right for him to change the fates of the people he meets. First and foremost, the first positive thing I want to say about Fortuna's Eye is the concept. I really dig the concept. As I mentioned in the synopsis, whenever Shinshiro sees that a person is about to die, parts of the body become translucent. And it really gives a nice blend of sci-fi fantasy elements with romantic drama elements, not romantic drama elements, and even the special effects that bring the sci-fi elements to life. They were good. They were believable. Like if you meet someone who has translucent hands, you see things floating around, or at least he sees things floating around when they're supposed to be holding them, and it looks believable for the most part on screen. I mean, I always say that Japanese special effects aren't usually ones to be proud of, but I think they did a decent job with this movie. And something small, but I think a little small detail that I appreciate about the way they made these special effects come to life is that they kept consistent, and they made the person's body become translucent. So when a person becomes more and more translucent, it's actually just their physical body, not their clothes, that Shinichiro starts to see through. And I think, usually if a movie would have this kind of concept, it would be actually like the entire body, clothes included, that would start to be clear, start to be translucent. But I like the fact that they just kept it just the body itself, because it makes more sense with what Shinichiro's power is. And as I hinted earlier, there's a good balance between sci-fi, fantasy elements, and romantic drama elements. And I think the romantic drama part, it's the Miki Takahiro style. If you like his style of romantic movies, you'll definitely like how Fortuna's Eye plays out. And what I dig about this romantic story, it doesn't dive in, it's tropey as hell as what any kind of romantic stories are expected to be like. However, it doesn't dive into twinny plot angles. It's actually a mature level story when it comes to its romantic plot threads. But what really drives the story, what really gives this story personality, is its sci-fi fantasy elements. It's what makes this movie unique from other romantic stories. And I think Kamiki and Arimura delivered fine performances for the most part. I mean, I'm a fan of both actors, more so of Kamiki Ryunosuke, and I think they delivered performances with enough emotional punch to get you hooked. And the music, I dig the music, especially the theme song of this movie, performed by one of my favorite current J-rock bands, One Ok Rock. You know, and whenever they do a theme song for a movie, it's always a plus in my book. As far as the negatives I have to say about Fortuna's Eye, well, I guess it's mainly that, you know, this really isn't diving into spoiler territory, because you know what's kind of going to happen is that Shinichiro isn't the only one with this power to see, with the eyes to see someone's fate. There's actually another character who has this power, and I guess you kind of need this, well, maybe you don't need this kind of character. This character acts as kind of a guiding light to Shinichiro, makes him question his decisions of stepping in to saving people from their impending doom, whether it's right or not. And, you know, not only a guiding light, but also a voice of reason. But I felt the way they introduced this character was very cheap, especially with the way how this character finds out the kind of power that Shinichiro has. I felt it was just kind of like, yeah, you know, it was very cheap. It's like, oh yeah, of course, you have this power. How do you know? Well, because, you know, I don't know, I felt like it was undeserving. I have also mixed feelings about the two titular characters, Shinichiro and Aoi. Not to say that the performances were bad. Just the characters themselves, the way these characters are written. Now, I understand this is based off of a novel, so I'm pretty sure the characters were made to be just how the novel portrayed them. But they're written to be kind of subdued, low energy. I guess it fits the story to a point, but I don't know. I just felt half and half about the way how these characters were written. But overall, what do I have to say about Fortuna's Eye? You know, I dig it. It's a Miki Takahiro movie. I went to it expecting a Miki movie. I came out satisfied, probably more than satisfied. I had a good time with it. If you're a Miki Takahiro fan looking for a good Miki movie, then you won't be disappointed at all. And without giving anything much away, there is a special twist towards the end of this movie that gives a little more emotional punch, and I think it's a pretty good twist because it simultaneously came out of nowhere, and also you felt that there was proper build up to it. At least that's how I felt. I felt it satisfied both those two things. Therefore, I thought it was a good twist. But yes, those are my thoughts on Fortuna's Eye. What did you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you really dig my content, please know you can support Asian Films via Patreon from as little as $1. And yeah, that's a bit of it for me, guys. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Hope to catch you all again in the next video. Take it easy.